you.
Hello, dear viewers. We welcome you to the first FIDE Online Olympiad for people with disabilities. And I'm FIDE DRS Commission member Polina Torochkova. Alongside me, Ulrike Vogel, who is totally supporting the DRS Commission over the past years. We are so excited to have almost 400 people from 45 countries in 4 continents competing in 61 teams and what is unprecedented event in the history of chess for people with disabilities. Yesterday we started with the opening ceremony, which was joined by FIDE President Aryan.
And today we'll start with having a little bit of a digression into the history of chess for people with disabilities. So chess really became the first ever inclusive sport in 1848 when, for the first time in history, a chess set was specifically adapted to enable visually impaired players to recognize the positions of the pieces by touching them. Theodore Tyler was amongst England's leading players in the 1930s, and despite being nearly blind, he managed to score a draw against Alekhine and Capablanca, which were obviously 2 of the best players in the first half of the 20th century.
Currently, there are 3 international associations for blind players, for physically impaired players, and for deaf players. Each one of them is affiliated with FIDE, and traditionally each one of these 3 organizations would have a team representing them at the World Chess Olympiad. Now, FIDE has materialized their ambitious project of organizing a dedicated chess Olympiad exclusively for people with disabilities, to be held every 2 years. This event will give more players with disabilities the opportunity to compete at an international event representing their country.
And obviously this event will consist of 2 stages. So the first one is a 7-round Swiss system from which the best 4 teams will qualify to play a double-round semi-final. The best 2 teams will then advance into the finals, whilst 2 others will compete for 3rd prize. And I just want to remind everybody that time control is in all stages is 25 minutes plus 10 seconds, which will obviously mean that there are quite exciting matches to watch.
And we welcome you to the first round of this grandiose event, first FIDE Online Olympiad for people with disabilities. Poland, Germany, the Philippines, Israel, and Cuba are the favorites according to the initial rating, followed by other traditional chess superpowers like Russia, Ukraine, and India. Today we are paying attention especially to such games as Poland against Bangladesh, India against Israel, Cuba against Colombia, Turkmenistan against Germany, and Kyrgyzstan against Russia.
And during the rounds, obviously, we will be doing this live broadcast. We'll be talking through different people throughout this week, as well as obviously some players to find out a bit more what chess means to them and how they've been keeping their skills sharp over sort of this past couple of months. And of course, we'll be keeping an eye on the chessboards as well. Obviously, it is a slightly different format. Obviously, we've had tournaments in the past through the Disc Commission, where we've had previous World Chess Championships in 2015 and 2017. We've obviously had the team competition in 2018 and last year's Confederation Cup. So it's really great to have this online tournament in these quite unusual times. So it's really great to have this all here. So how about, Polina, we'll have a quick look at some of the games. I know obviously we've just started, but let's have a quick look at what is going on out there. So how about if we have a quick look at Team 3, Philippines, the first Philippines team against Canada, because obviously Severino Sander, FIDE Master, is playing on the first board. He'll probably be known to quite a few of you people that are following us, because he's been participating in some of the games and some of the tournaments previously. So let's have a quick look at that games there. Let me just see if I can get it open here. Obviously, because we have to have it sort of separately open compared to you guys. So let's see what's going on there. Is playing on the first board. He'll probably be known to quite a few people that are following us because he's been participating in some of the games and some of the tournaments previously. So which sort of games are you quite excited about, Polina?
Frankly speaking, of course, I'm rooting for Russia. It's not a secret. And of course, they are not their leaders according to initial rating, but I hope they will do very well.
So let's see what's going on. I think it'll be really interesting to see because it's such a wide variety of different skill sets and different abilities of the players. We've got some unrated players. We've got obviously some who have been participating in tournaments for quite some time. So it's really great to have such a diversity, obviously in age groups as well, not just, you know, really young players, but also more mature players. So it's really great to have this diversity. Also, of course, in the different disabilities, as if you watched the opening ceremony yesterday, obviously the chief arbiter, Irina, she gave some more detail around the adaptations that have been made, in particular, of course, with the players that are visually impaired. So it's really sort of great to try and really make it as inclusive as possible for everybody. Great to have this diversity. Also, of course, in the different disabilities, as if you watch what's going on here. The chief arbiter, Irina, she gave some more detail around the adaptations that have been made, in particular, of course, with the players that are... So we're just trying to battle with technology as well. So just bear with us one moment. So we're just having a look what's going on here. Well, let's see who else we have playing today then. So obviously I've mentioned Sander already. Do you have any sort of players you're following in particular, Polina? So we're just trying to battle with technology as well.
I'm not sure.
So just bear with us one moment.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, I know obviously Stanislav Barbayekin from Russia, from the first Russian team. I think he was he's played in previous tournaments. So it's sort of quite great to see that we have sort of, you know, regular players that come to all the tournaments, sort of, you know, allowing them that platform as well to you know, have sort of those specific tournaments. So that's really, really great to see. Let's just see who else, what sort of other games we have going on today. Obviously, we have most of the countries have given more than one or have provided more than one team, so that's really great as well, because obviously they then can demonstrate even more. So it's not just the top players that can play, but also those that might not normally have the opportunity to actually be playing in such tournaments. So it's really great to have that. Obviously a lot of Latin American countries as well, which is great to see. As you mentioned earlier on, obviously in the introduction as well, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of sort of high-ranking, high-averaging teams. But, you know, it's also interesting to see what's going on at the other end of the spectrum. So,
I think we have to say once again that it is the most grandiose event in the chess world for people with disabilities, organized by FIDE.
Yeah, perfect. And obviously we're just waiting for our guests to come on as well.
Right.
So let's just see what the situation is there. So as I said, so we're really excited to have quite a couple of different people from different backgrounds lined up over the week. So we don't just have chess players, but we also obviously have a couple of people that are sort of involved behind the scenes in chess, that have put on tournaments, that have been involved with the commission as well. We'll obviously hear from Thomas, who is the chairman of the Disabled Commission, later on as well. So it's really, you know, we've got some really quite exciting things coming up over these next couple of days, obviously, as the rounds progress. So we'll be really excited to find out, obviously, what chess means to some people, and how maybe it has helped them throughout sort of these quite unusual times as well. So it's really great, and we're really excited to have this, to be part of this as well, and of this really unique inaugural event. That has taken some time, and obviously it's sort of the first step of hopefully getting chess into the Paralympic Games at some point, fingers crossed. Let's just see where we are at now. I think we're still just waiting for our guests to come on. If you just bear with us a couple of moments. Yes. It is, you'll have to bear with us. Obviously, it is sort of the first round, and unfortunately, technology doesn't always play football, and unfortunately, we are literally spread all over the world ourselves. So it's all quite exciting. Excellent.
Okay, Finally, our special guest today is Norwegian Grandmaster, twice Norwegian champion, and World Junior Chess Champion in 2017, and just a talented young man, Aryan Tari. Aryan, hello. Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you guys? Thanks for inviting me.
Hi, nice to have you on. So how did you get involved in chess in the first place?
I started when I was 5 years old. My dad used to play chess when he was a kid, so he knew the game quite well. So he decided to teach me and my brother.
Aryan, you became the World Junior Chess Champion in the most prestigious U20 category in 2017. The championship was held in Italy in the city of Treviso. This was your first big success on the world stage. What emotions did you experience then?
I was, of course, extremely happy. It's my biggest success I managed to achieve in chess, and I still remember it very well. It's it was just like the best feeling in the world.
And I want to talk about it a little bit more, because there was their brilliant victory over the Russian Grandmaster Grigori Aparin, where you played back. It was a great success within this championship. It was a really brilliant game. You scored an impressive 26-move victory with Caro-Kann defense against Grigori Aparin. And on the ninth move, you made a pawn break playing back. You sacrificed a pawn, g5 pawn move, in order to improve your position in the center. This plan was successfully implemented at a key moment in the game with the 15th pawn move to e5. How did you decide to sacrifice a pawn? And was it an advanced preparation, or did you come up with a bold idea during the game?
Wow, you remember the game very well. That's impressive. I sacrificed the pawn in a position where it was very unclear. Grigori seemed to be very well prepared in the opening. That was a bit uncomfortable. But I decided to complicate things even more. I thought I could sacrifice a pawn and get some activity. I was not sure if it was good or not, but I like to play active chess, so that's why I decided to just go for it and went all in, and it really just worked perfectly in that game, which was the most important game.
It was really brilliant. And what your character traits are helping you at the chessboard?
Sorry, once again?
What your character traits are helping you at the chessboard during the game?
I think I managed to not get too nervous. I managed to keep calm because in this tournament it was really important to manage to control your emotions, because when you're leading such an event like World Under 20, it's very easy to lose control and think too much about the result because it's so important. But I think I managed well to just keep calm and stay focused. I think I managed to not get too nervous.
I'm sure you probably get this asked all the time, sort of, as a fellow Norwegian. So do you deal at all, or what's sort of your relationship with obviously the current world champion Magnus Carlsen?
We have a good relationship. I played in the Olympiad with Magnus in 2016, where we managed to get fifth place. I think it was a great success. Also, we played European Team Championship in 2015. So I know him
I'm
quite
sure you
well,
probably get
but
this asked all the time, sort of,
yeah. So
as a fellow
it's of course
Norwegian. So,
amazing that he's from
do
Norway,
you
and
deal at all, or what's sort of your
I
relationship with
started to play
obviously the
chess
current world champion Magnus
when
Carlsen?
he was becoming world champion. So chess had a huge boost in Norway, of course, which is also great for me.
Yeah. And does he give you sort of any sort of advice or little tips? And sort of, do you follow them if he does that?
Sometimes he does, but usually he concentrates more on his own career. So hopefully he will give me more tips in the future.
And totally different question. What did you spend your first sort of tournament prize money on?
Interesting questions. I haven't got that one before. I think I.
And does he give you sort of?
I mean, I think I just put my money in the bank.
Sort of, do you follow them? If he does very wise decision, I guess. I think obviously with sort of with the Queen's Gambit out and about at the moment, where sort of everybody's sort of talking about this, where obviously it's very clear, what Beth wants the money for. So it's sort of quite interesting to see obviously how different people have different priorities in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. The Queen's Gambit was a great series. I definitely enjoyed it. Beth had a quite different situation, we can say. She really needed
very wise decision,
the money.
I guess.
Her living standards were
I think obviously with sort of with the Queen's Gambit out and about at the moment, where sort of
she was more desperate than me, I would say.
Obviously very clear. No doubt about that. But like, if you sort of, what are sort of the things that you keep busy with besides chess?
Yeah, for sure. I try to go to the gym, and otherwise I probably spend time with some friends or watch some series, go for walks. Yeah, that's it basically.
Okay.
Spend time with family.
Okay, and I have my personal question, one of them. Do you read books, and do you know such a famous best-selling Norwegian author, UNESCO? Because personally, I love histories and detective stories, and very often read them in my free time. Maybe have you read any of his thrillers?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know UNESCO is of course very famous here in Norway for his books. I remember I read one of his books in I think it was like 6 years ago when I went to high school. But generally I didn't read so many of his books. Unfortunately I mostly read chess books, so
Yes.
I didn't read so many normal books. But of course I know UNESCO very well.
Okay, and let's imagine if you want a chess player, who would you become? Do you have any other hobbies besides chess, or does chess take all the time?
Chess takes most of the time, but so do you mean if I would choose something else, what would I choose? Or
yes, yeah,
yes,
maybe I would play football.
okay.
I like sports, so I would probably do another sport.
Well, and I guess obviously, like with sort of Norway, I guess you into winter sports at all? Obviously, sort of with the, with basically snow guarantee within Norway. So do you do any winter sports at all yourself?
I've honestly not really. I've been doing some skiing some years ago, but I was actually never so much into that. But it's very popular in Norway, and a lot of people they are skiing. But yeah, somehow I was just not so much into that.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of biathlon at Norway. Everybody knows it is a country of biathlon. I just have to ask, maybe do you support your national teams, or maybe are you in friendly terms in some of the most famous biathletes of Norway?
I know the names, and I've seen a lot on TV, but I don't know too many of them personally. I remember once I played a simul last year against some of these famous people, so I got to know them a bit, but not too much.
Okay, and being a chess player, you surely have some interesting friends. Are they from the chess world or not? And what do they do?
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of friends in the chess world because I've been traveling for so many years now on tournaments, and then that's the great thing about chess. You get so many friends from all these different countries, and you keep in contact with them. So yeah, I definitely like that about chess.
Yeah. So how have you been keeping in touch with them sort of throughout this year with not really being able to travel much? How have you kept yourself busy throughout this year?
This year has been really, really difficult. It's probably been the worst year of of my life, I guess, because it's like just being stuck at home and no tournaments and not much to do. But I've been like trying to work on chess and doing some other things, doing some sports, streaming a bit, meeting some friends. But yeah, you don't have so many options.
Yes, it can get a little bit boring in the own four walls, doesn't it?
For sure.
Especially for yourself if you're used to be traveling all over the place and all the time, isn't it? It can be quite challenging. Obviously, you mentioned football earlier on. Sort of any favorite team that you do follow, keep an eye on?
I like Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe you're rooting for Iranian team because I know that your parents are originally from Iran.
Yeah. I definitely follow them in the World Cup and the big events, and I'm cheering for them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And okay, Ulrike.
No, you go ahead, Polina. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, where do you see yourself going from here? For example, what kind of dreams that you are still trying to achieve? What is your biggest dream?
I hope I can just continue to enjoy chess and improve. I'm not sure about which exact level I want to reach, but it would be great to just like improve my rating and maybe reach 2700, for instance. That would be great.
And sort of an outside of chess, sort of where do you see yourself going sort of sort of I said because obviously, of course within chess you can, it's, age doesn't really matter within chess, which is quite nice, but sort of like are you looking at sort of alternative things as well, sort of to keep going on the side?
Yeah, I've been definitely thinking about starting to study. I've been thinking about that for some years now. I'm still 21, so I feel I have time to just focus on chess some years more, and then maybe study later, because I feel like I mean, as older you get in chess, as difficult it is to improve. So that's why I've been like very unsure if I should start to study or just go all in with the chess. But right now I've been just focusing with the chess. We'll see later if I will do something else.
It's never too late to study. I've started studying quite late myself, so there's nothing wrong with that. And it's also, you bring much more life experience into the studying, so you can actually take a lot more from it, and you will then know a lot more what you want as well and what you want to achieve with it. But that's
I hope so.
It's great to hear as well that you're sort of thinking about that, thinking a bit more long term as well.
Yeah, because the only negative thing about chess can be that if you just play chess, it can be very like one-sided, and like especially times like this can get really boring because you don't have so much to do.
Yeah, and obviously, of course, sort of this is the first online Olympiad for players with disabilities. So, like, have you played any sort of opponents with disabilities in any of the tournaments that you've played in?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if I played anyone with disabilities, but I think I must have done when I was probably younger. But anyway, I have to say it's really great to see that FIDE has this event and that they give opportunities to everyone. That gives pleasure, and everyone deserves to have their chance. So yeah, amazing event.
And like, and what do you feel? Obviously, you said like earlier on, obviously that Magnus sort of brought quite a big boom, obviously, of chess in Norway. So where people were really sort of, you know, starting to take up chess a lot more. But like, what do you think? Like, if we think, for example, of players with disabilities that sort of have their own challenges, like, what do you think sort of needs to be done to get more of those sort of people involved and into sort of more regular tournaments as well? Where would you see the challenges there or the issues?
I'm not sure about the topic, but I think I mean, in general, when I play tournaments, maybe you see like 1-2 people with disabilities playing in that tournament, and they have their own board. I would love to see more people playing in those tournaments, but I guess in general we should have more tournaments like these for people with disabilities, so they can also have their goals and improve. Because as far as I know, there are not really many tournaments for people with disabilities.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is slowly starting to come out. I think, you know, in some countries it seems to be more popular. And I think in other countries, I think people probably sort of just shy away a little bit because they are worried about doing things wrong. But I think, you know, if you get the players involved, then they will be able to advise as well what are sort of the adaptations that they could potentially need. So yeah. And what sort of games and what sort of countries will you be keeping an eye on now during the online Olympiad?
Obviously, like countries like Russia and USA are generally very strong. I saw that Russia has a very strong team, but USA didn't have. I mean, I don't see any of the players have a rating, so I'm not sure if they are like favorites. But so I would say Russia and Israel seems to be kind of favorites. So Israel has a grandmaster actually, which is very impressive. And I guess that's the only grandmaster in the tournament.
There is another one, but I don't think he's playing. He's playing for the Polish team, but I don't think he's playing today. But there is it's two grandmasters in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. It's a pity to not see Norway here, but anyway, so many countries. I think was it 45 countries?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great to see so many players participating.
Oh, we can have the mission then to have Norway at the next Olympiad.
Yeah,
to get a Norwegian team together
in 2022.
Exactly. So do you have sort of any sort of last comments or any sort of thing that you'd want to sort of give to the viewers, but also to the players as well? Sort of any last remarks?
Yeah, I just want to, as I said, very happy to see this event. We should have more of them, and the best of luck to the players. I will definitely keep an eye on the games and follow who's gonna win. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I have anything more to add. Thank you, guys.
Now, we really appreciate you coming on and sort of talking to us, obviously, how you've struggled yourself as well, so that this year, I think it's really important to sort of to know that it's not just us that are struggling, but like ultimately everybody in the different countries, because I think it can be really challenging, you know, in times like these. So we really appreciate you spending time with us here and coming on to speak to us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And we are broadcasting from their first FIDE Online Olympiad for people with disabilities, and we are gonna back to you after some break.
Hello.
Online tournaments have gained quite an importance and have really become quite popular over the last year. So where do you stand on that? Like, do you see or do you feel that like online chess can grow even bigger?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, chess, by the way, is a typical online game. You know, so many people play games online, especially now in these times of pandemic, but already before, you know, millions and millions of games are played online. So, and in that case, chess is definitely an online sport too. You know, I mean, of course, we have over the board and what we miss right now, but you know, the online part is huge. We should never underestimate it.
And do you think like in the future there will be more sort of online tournaments coming from FIDE level as well, sort of higher level tournaments?
I think so. Look, I think it's coming from all the places. And I mean, all the organizations now, they go online, and we see this everywhere. We see this in teaching, universities and schools. They have curriculums, there's online curriculums, you know, all the other games. And I mean, even the racing games, you know, they had online races, you know, and maybe you have heard of this. So people try to make everything online. And of course, FIDE will engage on this part, definitely.
Perfect. And maybe if you can tell us a bit more, obviously, sort of I know between Polina and myself, we touched earlier on a little bit about the history or sort of the development of disabled chess. So can you tell us a little bit more about like sort of how the Disabled Commission has come along and yeah, sort of what are some of the things that you have done over the past few years?
Yeah, okay, thanks for asking this because, I mean, look, there's a lot of good people, including the two of you, are helping for many years to build up this project for players with disabilities. And from my side, first, let me start to thank you both, to Polina and you, Ulrike, for helping in this department. So we are working on this. And let me start with, let's say, I mean, about 15% of all the people worldwide have a disability, which means 1 out of 7. Most roughly, yeah? And for these people, you know, chess is the perfect game, the perfect sport, because obviously, you know, because chess is less physical, but it's still competitive. And we should, you know, include these people. And while chess tournaments are very inclusive, this I can tell as a former player when I was young. I mean, I could play in tournaments, there was no issue. But I see that others, you know, having more severe disability than I do, they have problems. And so we should help these people. And like Tari in his a few minutes ago told, he wishes, you know, a super grandmaster also says, okay, we should help these people. It's logical, you know, why not we help? And technology is getting better. So it's good, you know, to help. They can come and whatever comes with technology, but, you know, chess is there, you know, and the access with chess will improve.
And Thomas, how do you feel about this first FIDE Olympiad for people with disabilities? Because it's really a unique event. And what do you feel when you knew about that this Olympiad will come?
Yeah, no, thank you. No, look, we worked a long time to create tournaments. And well, so we started having just tournaments. We invited players, and then we had bigger tournaments. And this was not easy because it's a new field. So we had this grassroots growing basically in the last 10 years. And now finally we are on the moment, thanks to the new FIDE administration, who is a big help on the issue. So, okay, there came the suggestion to also have an Olympiad, just a big event. You know, we sum up all our resources, bring all the players worldwide, and then it's magnificent to have this event. And yeah, well, in a way, you know, the pandemic stopped us from having the over-the-board Olympiad for people with disabilities, which was planned in July this year. So, but nevertheless, I mean, the online Olympiad is also a good thing because many players, for them, it's not easy to travel. I mean, obviously, yeah. So if we can do it online, it's also a good option. But obviously, we are looking forward to next year, where we hopefully will have the over-the-board Olympiad for people with disabilities.
And what have been some of the challenges, obviously, in organizing and in getting ready for this event?
Yeah, the challenges. Okay, let me first start with an apology for all the viewers here. I've heard there was trouble with our sound. So obstacles are everywhere. And, you know, because we are on the beginning, let me say that, you know, we work constantly to improve, definitely, yeah? So, and all of us are just, you know, working for this project by heart, you know. I mean, we are all there just to make the world a little bit better. So, well, in a way, you know, we see this, you know, growing, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, interest all over the world, and we get many new players and new federations joining because, you know, people with disabilities are everywhere and chess is everywhere. So, and like I like to say, chess is for everyone. So once we get out the word that there are these tournaments, that we have projects and initiatives, you know, in many countries, you know, there's also this grassroots development. So we encourage federations to have their national championships, which I see as a next step. Yeah, national championships and maybe continental championships. This would be great. You know, this is the logical follow-up. But this we have to leave to the continents and of course to the countries. So let's see. But at this moment, already some countries, they have national championships, which is a very good development.
Thomas, don't you think that chess has to stay like an online sport, only online?
No, I think we all look. I mean, we all of us, we miss to meet each other, right, to see friends, you know, to have there's also, look, the Chess Olympiad, for instance, is a great tournament, but also it includes the social aspect that all the people from all over the world, every 2 years they meet in some place. And then we see old friends. And of course, now we connect on Zoom or Skype and whatever, but it's not the same, yeah? We miss, you know, the social aspect, you know. I mean, while we're all happy to see each other on Zoom, and it is, you know, missing the real thing. So this is, I hope that next year we will have the Olympiad. But even if not, okay, then let's hope to have it in 2022. So let's see, you know, but you know, the online thing is just helping chess and helping, you know, so we work on it.
No, that's great to hear. So what are sort of some of the plans that you have sort of going forward now?
The plans, yeah. Okay, first of all, let us all work that this first tournament will go smoothly. So this is the first thing. Let's see. I mean, so all the things like, you know, we have nearly 100 people working on this event. So this is a lot of people. There's the media team, the arbiter team, and then we have the big team of assistants. You know that nearly about 60 people are assisting players who cannot input their moves alone into the computer. So like blind players, they play on their blind chessboard, and an assistant either in their place or online is putting the moves into the system. So 100 people nearly working for all of this event to make it really happen. So it's big. So I hope that things are really working well, yeah? So let's see. And then the further plans, okay, let's see, further plans. The Olympiad, the over-the-board Olympiad planned for July 2021. So let's see. It's only, we can only speculate, yeah, about the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, so this is.
I hope that it will be finished by the time.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully. The thing is, like, in one moment, there comes the decision for us if we announce it. So this will be like half a year before. So like January, February, we have to make a decision or basically the FIDE leadership has to make a decision about announcing it or not. And yeah, we live in uncertain times, yeah.
Okay, Thomas, and maybe do you have some plans of organizing some events in Germany next year for people with disabilities?
Yes, same. Yeah, we have several ideas. We also always have an adult championship for disabled people. This we started in Germany. The first edition was in 2011, so 9 years ago. And we hope to do it next year, October again. And here's the same situation. The pandemic, unclear. Yeah, actually this tournament was planned for this year, October, but okay, it got cancelled someone in the summer. And same goes for our junior event, which took place 3 times in the United States, and also it had to be cancelled because of the pandemic. So, I mean, let's see which country is opening first and be corona-free and also allows events. You know, this is the next thing. Even you know, if there's no virus, it's not clear if we can have the event. So, at the moment, plans, you know, for all of us as humans, it's the same. Yeah, big plans for travel, plans for meeting friends is uncertain. Yeah, so. We will come up with an online idea if the pandemic continues.
Because I think obviously, you know, the with the players, you know, they are to an extent in this high risk group of people, so they might be quite hesitant in traveling. So I guess sort of online tournaments are sort of probably in some way the safest option for everybody involved. So I think, you know, that will be. It's good to hear that you are, you know, exploring those online options and not sort of just planning on the over the board events sort of reopening, but that you continue to explore online options, because I think that's really, really important. You know, to give that. It's like, so now how do you feel? Obviously, we have quite a big number of different countries represented. Like, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy. So 45 countries. It is a huge number. I mean, at the beginning, you know, we thought like, well, if we have 30 countries, whatever, 40 is already very good, and 45. And as you know, the decision to give the bigger countries the option to nominate a second or even a third team is also very nice, because in some countries they have big programs, and so they like to have sent more players. While for other countries, they have smaller programs. They just are happy with one team. So this was good, and many countries took the opportunity to nominate a second or a third team, which is great. So, okay, the number of, how much is it? 60 teams is great. Unfortunately, like always, you know, there was with 1 or 2 teams, there were some issues with the connection, so they couldn't start. But you know, 60 teams is a lot. So personally, I'm happy about this. So, but we worked a lot. There's lots of contacts before setting up the teams, and well, in times of the pandemic, in many countries, it's not easy to bring together the players or get opportunity to be connected to the internet, etc., etc. So this was now here, thanks to the team who so many people were helping and working. You know, so many. Let me here use the opportunity to thank Arbiter team and the team of assistants who do a great job of bringing everything together.
And just to let everybody know as well, obviously, I know we've had a couple of challenges with actually watching the games on Chess24. But if you actually go onto the dis.fide.com website and click onto the live link there, it's going to bring you onto the Tornado website. It's sort of a little bit more split up, but you can see the individual games on there and you can follow them. And we actually have sort of the first games already finishing. So I'm just sort of keeping a bit an eye on what is going on. So I've actually seen, by the looks of it, all 4 boards of the German team have already finished. And by the looks of it, they all have actually won their games. So how do you feel about that, Thomas? be in German.
Yeah, you know, I try to be very international, you know, so this is not for me, it's not an issue. I am happy that, you know, so many countries are participating. I mean, so no, this is, yeah, but good. Let us see that so this is good to know to all the viewers that they can follow on the Tornello website. You know, it's tornello.com. And there the games are live. Yeah, once again, my apologies. We have to figure out with the media team what happened. But, you know, okay, it will be, we constantly improve.
And as I said, you can definitely go, if you go just on the website, dis.fide.com, and there is up at the tab, you have the live tab, and that brings you straight onto the live games as well. If you can't find your way around Tornello, it brings you straight onto it. It brings you into the standings, so you'll then just have to click onto round one, and you will have all the games individually listed there. So you can at least sort of, you know, you can then choose which games to watch as well on the site, or which games to view, obviously, once they have finished. So, our apologies, but yeah, unfortunately, technology does not always play ball, sadly. But as I said, you know, you can still follow the action on there. And as Thomas said, fingers crossed, tomorrow we'll have it all sorted as well. But yeah, I said the first couple of games are coming in. One of the obviously on the Poland versus Bangladesh, they already have had the first result as well, where Marcin Molenda has won his game on board one. So as we are going on, as I said, more and more games will sort of start to come a little bit to an end now. So it'll be exciting to see, and I think we're all quite excited as well to see what the results are like on the end of the first day. So any particular team you will be following more closely, Thomas?
No, actually not. I'm prior to this, I was just clicking on the Tornello website and looking at some games, but not any particular team. No, I know of course many players personally, so I follow. But you know, I wish luck to everyone, and also don't forget, you know, many people are now sitting at home alone, and they are happy to enjoy playing and meeting people, and it's always good, you know, to get some company, even if it's only online these days. So this is
So on that, like, how have you been keeping yourself busy over the last sort of couple of months, obviously, because, you know, from what I understand, you used to travel quite a bit as well. So how have you been coping with the changes?
Yeah, most of us in the last months, we were organizing especially this tournament. Basically, trying to make contact with many federations to, you know, ask them if they wanna send a team, and, you know, helping to identify the players. This went via many of our personal channels. And let me just thank again both of you, Polina and Ulrike. You also made your contacts and encouraged countries to participate. What is really good, you know, because, you know, we are at the beginning. So at the beginning, people followed mainly on semi-open channels. Like, for instance, we have a Facebook page from the Commission, so which Ulrike handles. Thanks again for this. So people connect there, they see. So the information goes, you know, worldwide. It spreads. And now with this tournament, of course, we get a lot of attention. So I think, and I'm sure we will make a second edition, whatever, in a year or in 2 years, who knows. But then, you know, things will be easier. So basically that answers it. I mean, preparation for this tournament just filled my last 3 months. So there was nothing else I did actually in that time.
Yeah. And obviously, I know you are no longer sort of actively playing chess, but are you still sort of keeping your skills sharp? And how are you doing it?
I don't know. Chess is an interesting thing, because many people think chess is a game for young and old and everyone. And this is true. But to play competitive, to be like on top level or nearly top level, this is only a short period. And basically, I'm thinking the players, they they have their peak when they are like 25 or until 30 years old. And after that, we all enjoy chess, and I do, but I have no illusion now in the age of 51 that, you know, I can compete with anyone on the top. But yeah, from time to time, I log in to a platform and play a couple of games of Blitz. Sure, this is part of every chess player's life.
That's good to hear. We've just had a quick update as well. Obviously, all the games will be uploaded onto the onto Chess24 website later on after the games have finished. So all of that information will be on there later on. But as I said, for now, sort of the live transmission is only possible through the actual Tornillo lobby. So, you know, as I said, just bear with us. But as I said, you know, you still have the full functionality on there. And as I'm sort of scrolling through, there's more and more games finishing. At the moment, I think we actually only have one draw of the results of the games that have ended, which is great to see. There's a lot of decisive games. And I think that's partially due as well, obviously, to the fairly short, you know, sort of time control, which will keep it really interesting. So yeah, but like, do you have any sort of final words to say to the players as well from your side, Thomas?
Yeah, I wish everyone, I mean, good luck, definitely, but also enjoy, you know, being part of this community, being, you know, meeting friends, you know, connecting worldwide. And life, you know, with friends is much nicer. So enjoy chess and use chess as a tool to stay connected.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Thomas, for coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time today to have a quick chat with us. And so yes, we're sort of slowly but steadily coming to the end of our first live broadcast.
As we want to apologize again for some technical problems, we promise that tomorrow we will be much better. And to end it, I'd like to say that today we had the first round of the first FIDE Online Olympiad for people with disabilities. Therefore, stay tuned and support your favorite teams. And we are going to be back tomorrow with the second round.
And yeah, please enjoy the Olympiad. As Polina just said, apologies for the slight technical glitches. Keep an eye out for Tornillo as well as chess24.com. We'll be uploading the links later on onto the Facebook page as well, so you can follow it. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys all again tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.